বিজ্ঞান মনস্ক মন, দীর্ঘ অভিজ্ঞতা, প্রশ্নাতীত কর্মদক্ষতার মধ্যে দিয়েই নিজেকে একজন সফল কর্পোরেট হিসেবে প্রতিষ্ঠিত করতে সক্ষম হয়েছেন ইন্টার আইটির কর্ণধার অশোক কে লাহা। প্রত্যুৎপন্ন মস্তিষ্ক, বিশ্লেষণী দৃষ্টিভঙ্গি এবং উদ্ভাবনী মনের দৌলতেই তিনি বর্তমানে সামলাচ্ছেন আইএসিসি প্রেসিডেন্টের গুরুদায়িত্ব। বিচক্ষণ এই মানুষটির সঙ্গে সময়ে সময়ে কথা বলেছিলাম আমরা। তার সুপরিকল্পিত মতামত এবং বিশ্লেষণী দৃষ্টিভঙ্গি সমৃদ্ধ প্রতিবেদন রইল আপনাদের জন্য।
Most of the entrepreneurs, what they do, they establish a board of advisors, informally or formally, whom they trust, and sometimes you have to humble, sometimes you have to do successful, and then board of advisors often become coach to the CEO of the company, and they become very candid because they have nothing to lose. They are very successful people. They got a track story there, Sometimes what happens actually, because of ego issue comes in, if you are going to tell me something, I say, what the hell you know? I'm a CEO, you are not. Why I listen to you? But if Jackals comes and tells me, I listen to him. So board of advisors, you pick up the board of advisors who are very successful people in the field, whom you respect, whom you think you can get along well, and whom you are ready to listen to them. Sometimes they are board of directors, sometimes board of advisors also. What coaching will do, coaching will teach them how to become successful, what are the mistakes you will not make, what mistakes to make, how to handle different situations. It's so easy to say that I am going to start a company. In Silicon Valley, you could look at it, out of 10 companies or 20 companies, 19 fail, 1 succeed. Even the VC funded company. Now some of the companies' ideas are bad, but some of the companies could have succeeded because the entrepreneurs, the founder, the CEO who started the company, they are unable to take it to the next level or next level. There the mentor or coach comes in handy. They can help them. The issue comes in is that the entrepreneur has to have a trust in them, because the entrepreneur, they often become particularly if they got an early success, they become little arrogant. They often become that I know everything. So if they got a trust in them, then and then only that will succeed. In my life, when I was a GTE, of course I was an entrepreneur at that time frame. I met a gentleman, Otto Kohut, who was elder than me. I used to like him. I used to respect him. His knowledge, his personality, and everything else. So we became very close. Then he became de facto, without telling the coach or mentor, he used to de facto become a mentor, not my boss. So when I got a difficult problem, when I became a manager, what happens? You got interpersonal skills, problem, how to deal with your employees, how to deal with your colleagues, how to see the ugly part of the politics, how to manage the difficult bosses, how to manage the other department customers, and particularly in that company, customers generally, our customers generally were the harder designers. When they make mistakes, we have support group. When they make mistakes, they try to finger point us as if it's not their problem, it's our problem. So those are the difficult situations, So how to handle those situations? So whenever I found somebody, I used to go to Otto. I used to have a regular meeting with Otto, and Otto definitely liked him because he used to spend time with me. Sometimes bouncing ideas, sometimes what you will do in my situation, but you have to have a trust in him, and you have to have a candid enough to tell exactly what's going on, and also you have to listen to him. You can argue with him, everything else, but every time if you ignore him, then he will say, why am I spending time with it? Of course, he's invested time in me, so he like to see improvement going on. So those are the most important factor comes in. So mentor is to you can pick up any mentor. I cannot assign any mentor to you or any coach to you unless the person have to have trust in him, respect him, his capabilities. He will not look down on you. He will talk with you on a level basis. I don't know how many people are here. The danger part always the coach and mentor is that you have to admit you need a help. That's very difficult in this context. Or generally, it's the men's ego, whatever I call it. Most of us, we don't have to open up our weak part. So you have to be candid enough to say that. Mentor is almost like a priest when you're going to do that. But yeah, that will help tremendously. I read in the book of the Walter Isaacson about Steve Jobs. He wrote that Larry Page used to go to him for his advice. So Steve Jobs, although he didn't like Google, but he said, I'm going to help this guy out. So he became a de facto mentor for Larry Page, that according to the book. So yeah, that's tremendous. If you can find somebody, that will help you quite a lot. I'm sure that for every successful cricketers, there is a good coach there. Yeah.
I keep hearing from a large number of your own employees that you are more like a coach than a boss. So within the organization, does it pay off to be a coach rather than a boss?
Well, you have to be the boss also. There is no way you can. You have to take a responsibility, right? But if you read the book of the one thing is transformed me. Read the book of the Jack Welch. He wrote in his book, I think book Winning or a book before that or both books he wrote it. The CEO's job or the manager's job, he should spend 50% of his time to be the coach and 50% time to manage the organizations.
So both are needed.
Both are needed because you have to hire people who are bright, who are generally better than you, but then you have to help them to succeed or to grow, and because whatever skill set they don't have it, then you have to grow, right? So it's every manager moral responsibility to build these people. The more moral manager responsibility to make sure his people grows, and that's why his coaching is needed. You have to spend time with the people to coach. Other what the manager's job is. Manager's job is to manage. I often ask, what do you do? I manage. What does it mean? So manager is not a task distributor. So manager has to be the lead on the front. Lead from in the front. He has to bring all the people in. He has to take up full responsibility, as well as he has to make sure his people grow so that it will be for own benefit. I can hire people from outside, but they will be heterogeneous people. The people who worked here for years, if I help them to grow the way I want to take the company out, move there, that's more beneficial than getting people from outside. Where people come from the outside, like maybe TCS, Infosys, Wipro, they come with a different culture. Their culture is different. Their resume may be pretty good, but they come with a different culture. And what you need is a team whom you can grow. So if you got some smart people there, if you can help them grow to the next level, and that they want it, and who can help them? I think it's my moral responsibility to help people. But I generally don't go on corridor and say, I'll be your coach. If somebody asks me for a coach, I can help them. I think it's my moral responsibility.
Normally, these Chamber of Commerce and other industry bodies, they are often considered or perceived to be just talk shops. They organize seminars, summits and all that. And on ground zero, nothing actually happened. So during your tenure, what would you lay most trust on so that something or things get done actually?
I think you are perfectly right. You know that some of the people talk about the chambers as a club. You know, I've heard the comment from the American Chamber of Commerce, AmCham, which I'm a member. You know, I heard that some people, some members openly talked about it. It's a club of the big business community. Nothing happens. Happy drinks, lots of talk. You know, but I think that, I want to do move forward. You know, we'll address certain areas. You know, we already talking with one of the groups. Started talking with one of the group back in US, and we are trying to bring a delegation from here, and we are trying to find out the timing. You know, probably the January February time frame, or after end of April. You know, we are trying to find out what the right time to do that for terms of delegation. Hopefully our members can get some business in that area, you know, some of the areas. So it's all up to the leadership, you know. It's much easier to just to Chamber of Commerce and do that, but I intend to do something, you know, and my two vice president, other people, they want to do something, because one of the advantage we got as compared to the big one, FreeKCII, we are much smaller, only 2,500 members. So we are much more agile. Our decision making is much faster. You know, and all of us run a business of our own, right? And they're a small business. So compared to the, we know how to be active, participate, you know, we want to make a decision fast and move forward.
Lean and small.
Lean and small. We have to be lean and small, you know. So that's one of the advantages our leadership has got. That's what we are trying to do. But again, you know, it's much easier not to do anything, you know, but I intend to do it.
As Mr. Modi has suggested, or he actually called for, the Indian Americans should put their own foot in the US and the other in India.
Mm-hmm.
So you are already one of them who has is one foot in the US and the other in the India.
Yes.
So what would you do to encourage others to follow suit?
Well, you know, I'm doing it because you know, I lived in US for a long time, a US citizen. We started the company in India, in the US, and we got a Indian subsidiary. So I'm coming back and forth in almost 6 months. The danger is that, you know, it's a question that jail thing is that the glass is half empty or half full. How to take a look at it? You know, I take a look at the half full always. You know, some people in the US, you know, I've seen some of the Indians, not all of them. You know, lots of people that are excited to come to India right now, but lots of people have got there's, you know, nothing works in India. You know, roads are bad, pollution is bad, electricity is bad. You know, if you want to talk about everything bad, yes, there are lots of things bad, but there are lots of pluses there. You know, I look at the plus part of it. You know, I have got a specific reason why I'm here. You know, and there are lots of advantages to be here. You know, ultimately I grew up in this country. You know, I don't do for the charity, my personal needs, but I enjoy being here as well as being in US. You know, US has got lots of pluses, lots of work ethics and everything I learned from US. Management style, everything I learned from US. But here also lots of pluses there. You know, so it also, I probably see it individually per people to people, but I expect that lots of people are coming today. Lots of people, they come here. Lots of experts, they'll come here, they'll stay here. I know lots of American experts, they're staying here today. They're US citizens, they're coming here and staying here today. Yeah, you see, I think that government in India has to be more active. You know, so far, you know, Mr. Modi is too new to make any comment about that, but in the past, government of India, for whatever reason, they don't do an active PR in US. You know, I look at Israel, you know, Israel got such an active peer. Everybody in US, they are pro-Israel. Not a single senator, if they want to be anti-Israel, they lose the election, you know. And they press and everything else, they are always writing positive thing about Israel, you know. And so is China. There is a positive buzz in the US about China, positive buzz, you know. There is the pictures and everything else. I'm sure that, you know, Chinese press, the Chinese government has to do with the PR and everything else, you know, influence the reporters and everything else, you know, do that. Government of India, I don't think, I've never seen it. They have spent any effort to actually influence the Washington Post or New York Times or Wall Street Journal or CNN or CBS, CBC or CBS or NBC to write any positive article about India in a prime time. I've never seen that. I have never seen anybody coming to TV talk positively about India. You hear lots of positive things about Israel. I don't hear anything there. You know, they don't. I don't know where they spend the money on it, but they don't spend the time there. You know, so if Mr. Modi is, I think probably he has done an effective job in putting effort together. You know, he is a different person. So I hope that that will happen. That will give an impression, you know, because no matter what I say, if people hear the nice article in Time magazine about India, nice articles in a New York Times, you know, the place to be there, fun place to be there, all other stuff, then people say, yeah, let's go there, you know. People want to have a, you know, if you in the US you made money, right, you know, after the age of 40, 50. And so if you want to come here, what you like to do? You like to have a decent medical system, decent place to live in, you know, housing and everything, and place to live in, you know. There is no reason why people are moving here, but there are more people coming. I expect that. I'm hopeful. I'm a positive person. I'm hopeful there are lots of people coming.